that'll kill somebody.
Court come back into session. Sorry for the inconvenience, it's 9:20. We had a motion, then it was withdrawn for $35,000, and I think the question was, if we did that, then on item 24, there's two deals on the operating the capital and operating the capital. If I'm gonna go back, we're gonna do item 24 real quick, budget adjustments, and we're gonna go D and E. If they pass or don't pass, we can always come back to the budget and put the money in there for capital. And in saying that, again, if they pass or don't pass, then we can come back to capital if they don't pass and then set some money aside in there. So, item 24, budget adjustments from available appropriations, item D. Precinct 4, moving $32,500 from operating to capital. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
A motion, Commissioner Flores. Do I have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
Yeah. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. I'm gonna vote against that. So it's 3 yes. All those against it?
Aye.
Aye. 2 against. Item E, precinct 2, operating the capital, $75,000. Do I have a motion?
I'm sorry, Judge, if I can interrupt. That balance currently is now 39?
Correct.
Okay, all right.
Motion to approve.
It's how much? Wait a minute.
39,000.
39,000. Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
3. All those against?
Aye.
Aye.
Is that money gonna roll over in the next year's budget?
That's your process. It doesn't have to, and I don't like that process.
There's nothing in that motion that says it rolls over, so they have until tomorrow to spend it.
We have, it's 3, 4, 3, 4 the motion, and 2 against. And when you said that, I mean, we had this discussion, Matt, and yesterday and the day before, when all this was being put in the budget, and I told the commissioners also, we had the discussion, I couldn't vote for it, but, we can't get in a habit of doing this, and because everybody else out there, every other department, I think we're opening something up, and I know that we're gonna vote on it, and it will come to the court, but it's real hard, once we do this, to tell the other departments because you have money in operating, and you wanna move it to capital, the next go-round, that you can't do it when the commissioners are doing it for themselves. That's the only problem that I had with this.
You're opening a door that you can't close. You're setting a precedent that you can't close. And the money was put in there and intended to be used for paving roads and operating and stuff like that. And we're apparently not doing that, so.
We tried spending that money.
Try spending it, Gus, you got a guy building a runway in the middle of your damn road.
But what
And
now?
we can't get that fixed. And so, I mean, yeah, don't tell me you tried spending.
No.
Down your damn road.
Buying a tractor and other stuff. Roadway, like, whatever you wanna call it, mister, that's out there in the boonies.
I don't care where it is.
But whatever it is, I take care of the people here inside the city limits and outside the city limits in my precinct. They're my priority. I don't go out there hunting for jackrabbits.
I think it, and again, one thing, are you here? Yes. And the purchasing, since we're talking about this, and then, there was some confusion on how the money was spent, gonna be spent, that discussion, I think, you said that it would be good to bring that discussion back. I think we're gonna visit with, Judge Cadena, and then, we'll bring it back to the court, that way we could set out some guidelines, on purchasing, that we were all on the same page, and maybe that'll help us on the next go-round.
Yes,
That's
it
what you
could
wanted to do.
definitely help in the very beginning of wanting to purchase something.
Okay, so that hopefully we won't have this happen again.
Judge, but the item do state that the money will be transferred to capital outlay. That's what the item says here.
No, and that was
Exactly what the item, and that's what the motion was.
And Capital outlay is in expenditure, appropriation. Appropriations typically close at the end of the year.
Yeah.
But 111, you guys get the power to do the budget, and you've chosen to roll over your capital and parks.
No, we chose to roll over our tax note money.
Okay,
We've never budgeted capital.
okay. So what do we want to do with capital? Do we not want to roll over?
Okay,
The motion did not roll over the money.
The motion on item 24, D, was to set aside $32,500. And in saying that,
No, not set aside, to roll, to.
but in
move.
saying that, they'll need to spend it. They'll need to get a PO and spend it.
We need to spend it by the end of the fiscal year, which is tomorrow.
They'll need to get a PO to
Okay,
spend it.
we've been preparing this budget ever since day one with the little capital roll down here on the bottom.
So yes, those are tax note money.
Those are not tax notes.
They're all tax note.
I'm sorry.
They're all tax note money.
Down here at the bottom that we've been working with all year? No, those were the
There
capital.
is no capital budgeted other than what was in tax notes.
We had, we did the 200 and then we did the 50.
Right, so you do have capital accounts that are outside the tax note. Okay, right, and that's what we've been rolling over, since we started this process in July.
Yeah, we started with 50,000 last year, when we went in, and then this fiscal year, we set aside another $200,000.
Mm-hmm.
So between last year, there was part of that 50, there might have been some of the $50,000 that was brought over, that wasn't spent into this fiscal year. And then we know that
That's
there was
because we put the
$200,000.
money in at the end of the fiscal year.
Mm-hmm. So you put money in, then I believe you had 200 set aside this year.
Mhm.
And then in addition to that, we had some asset sales that went back into the capital accounts. So the capital accounts,
Okay, let's
as
do
you guys
this.
wanted, we're going to be rolled over.
Just to be perfectly clear, the motion was to move operating into capital.
Yes.
Do we want to revisit that, Commissioner Flores, to roll that money over? You want to withdraw
Yes,
your motion?
I'd like to rescind my
And then
motion.
come back. Okay, we'll withdraw on item 24, number D, precinct 4, operating the capital, 32,500. You're going to withdraw your motion on that one, and then you're going to make another motion to roll that over.
Yes, I'll make a motion that the money from operating be rolled over to capital outlay
For next year.
for next year.
Okay. All those in favor? There's 3 votes. All those against?
All right,
Me 2 against, 2 votes. Item E, precinct 2, operating the capital, 39,000. We had a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. You all would go withdraw that motion.
I'll rescind that motion and make another motion that we roll over that money to capital for precinct 2.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores. Commissioner Vasquez, you accept?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
3, all those against? Aye. Commissioner,
I'm opposed.
3-2. All right. It is 9:30. At this time, we're gonna open up the budget hearing. Anybody have anything on the budget hearing? Budget hearing is open. Budget hearing is closed. Okay, we got 15 minutes. We can go back to the budget, because we will have to have another hearing on the tax rate. The budget workshop. Does anybody else have anything on the budget? Nothing? Y'all good? Okay. We're gonna go ahead and take off on, item 13, and then we'll come back to the rest of it. Item 13, approving subdivision plat. Item 14, approving certificates of compliance.
None.
Item 15, approving monthly reports from elected officials. Do I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those against? 5-0 vote, approving, bills for payment.
Move.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? 5-0 vote. Emily Grant, setting date for Valverde County Livestock Show on December 19th and 20th, 2021, with an alternate date of February 26th and 27th, 2020. Okay. December 19th and 20th, 2020, not 2021. And with an alternate date of-
2021 in 2020.
Huh?
We're hosting 2021 and 2020.
Both?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you bring that back for 2021? Because you're trying to get it this December.
Normally, we have it in January, so it'd be a 2021 stock show.
In 2020.
But
Okay, yeah.
since we moved the date to December,
But I had 2021 on the,
Yeah.
So it's 2020, and then alternate date February 26th and 27th, 2021.
no. Motion to approve.
The motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. You want to say something before?
No, just if y'all have any questions.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Anybody have any questions for Ms. Grant?
Thank you. Y'all make that easy then.
Yeah. Thank you. Item 18, requesting permission to give the American Legion Post 595 an award of appreciation for their services to local veterans.
Motion to approve.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Adrian, what is this?
Thank you. Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. So the American Legion has been doing all the funerals for the veterans when it comes to a 21 gun salute. I just worked with them this last week, a father and son, both veterans, within 48 hours. They've been doing it all year long. No recognition, no, they don't ask for a dime.
Just trying to get them an award.
I just want to say
Something
thank you,
appreciation.
yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, on behalf of the county, for all the great work that they've been doing, and it hasn't gone unnoticed. I've gone to plenty of funerals for these veterans, and they're always there. You know, they're dressing the best they can. It's the American Legion, and they work well with the Air Force Base. Whenever there's an airman, the Air Force Base takes care of it. But all the other soldiers, sailors, and Marines, the American Legion steps up and gives them a 21 gun salute. So it's just our way of saying, oh, I would like it, for our way of
Very
saying,
well-
thank you
very
for
well
all.
deserved.
Yes, yeah, and they don't ask for anything. They're really good guys, really good group of guys.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Appreciate it. Item 19, requesting a credit card for fuel
Move.
with stripes.
Second.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Aye. Anybody, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye, 5-0 vote. Item 20, allowing renewal application for participation by District Attorney's Office and BPU Board Protection Unit grant fiscal year 2020-2021 for the current budget amount of $187. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Second,
Second.
Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 21, presenting status of emergency SHC program and possible amendments of the program policies.
Morning, Judge, Commissioners.
Morning.
One of my things I've been having a hard time reading, I got my glasses on. Good morning, sir. How's it going?
Excellent, sir.
Give me a couple more, I'll hand them up next.
Thank you.
You don't.
Well, we're ready for the second round of funding. I dragged my feet just a little bit to see what y'all would decide today, if y'all would be willing to increase the amount of funding from the 1,200 to the state max of 2,000. So I haven't yet awarded the second round, but be ready to go this afternoon and tomorrow. Not a lot of diversity in our second group of folks. In fact, less so than the first, mostly Valverde Park Estates and Cienegas Terrace.
The reason we didn't get anything in Comstock, they just didn't apply.
Just haven't applied.
So,
Yes, sir.
folks in Escondido and Rancho del Rio do not realize that they qualify, that they're a colonia. And only RISE is the ones that know. So how do we fix that?
Yes, sir. I'm not positive what they know or don't know. We've certainly been advertising. We're in the newspaper, we're on the radio, we've been on
For
Facebook.
everybody there?
Yes, sir, but they are now eligible. All colonies within the county are eligible.
Could we get a sign, like when you cross the tracks, maybe get a sign put up there as soon as they cross the tracks? I mean, in order to get into that area, it's like one entrance.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Judge.
Post office,
That's
by
a good-
Boston Drive.
Yes, sir.
The other effective way would be, Commissioner Warlaw, send your foreman, knock on doors and let the people know what's taking place.
Just to let you know, yesterday, we had staff in Rio Bravo, Colonia down there on Qualia, that's in your precinct, and we're also sending them today out to the Escondido to again put out
Oh,
flyers.
so you're sending staff out there?
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
It's a
that.
little hard to knock on doors in Escondido because the houses are set so far back from the road, but right there where the tracks are. so-
Gates are locked, and it's hard, they're hard to reach.
Yes, sir.
They got dogs.
Very, very difficult to
You
reach.
see every one of them 3 times a week when you hand out food, why don't you just hand them a flyer?
There you go.
3 times a week.
Just throwing it out.
Sometimes, no, sometimes 3 times a day.
Well, yeah, sometimes.
For y'all watching, he's playing. Okay?
We're up to 121 raw applications, which at our current award amount of $1,200 is not enough to exhaust the entire amount of the $40 million funding. Perhaps the problem is advertising. Perhaps we need to get out there and rattle some trees a little bit more. So we can certainly continue after the current award.
What do we do if we go to 2? Are we gonna exhaust, I guess the word is there, exhaust our funds?
A lot quicker. I mean,
But even at that, with the ones that you have, if we did the 2,
at the raw numbers, it would take us to that, yes, sir, but we would still be, slightly under with all of our fixed low income folks that are making about
so
30.
going to 2, we still have to go get more people to
Yes, sir.
apply.
Motion to move it to 2.
I'll second that.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? All those against? 5-0 vote. You good with that?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Approval of draw number 17 under SHC contract 7217013 in the amount of $22,751.85 and authorize county judge and county auditor to sign draw 17. Draw checklist.
Move.
Second. Then motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Okay. Auditor's report, none.
Motion to approve.
Okay.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Budget adjustment from available appropriations. A, sheriff's, doctors, and medications, $3,240.39.
Where do you want to get it from?
Items A, B, and C can be.
Well, I want to take C separate.
Well, we'll do each one of them. A,
Okay.
where do you want to get it from?
Contingency.
Motion to approve out of contingency.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second.
Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item B, building maintenance utilities, $29,866.14.
Did we raise that in this year's budget to cover these costs?
We added.
We did raise it, and we raised it the year before. It's just.
Well, who's leaving the lights on?
And it is that. We did have a hot summer. This is a tough one. I can't even want to be able to estimate my own.
Can we get
utility costs.
how about if we look at doing a utility analysis in ways to cut costs?
We used to get those every few years.
Yeah, we haven't
could
done
do
one in a
that.
long time, maybe get more efficient light bulbs, put in.
Well,
Shut off.
they're looking at what it would cost to do this building, that building, and some of the other buildings, they're counting the fluorescents to go already to LED.
And then what about upgrading the AC units to something that's a little more efficient than
The
we have?
plan that they're looking at right now that Edgar and Martin have been working on and they've talked about is the same thing that, they're looking at going back to look and see how old our units are and then start replacing 2 or 3 units a year just to get past that.
Judge, how about, solar panels on some of those buildings?
Like that
Down there,
one,
fire department, the community center.
that one has not been brought up. Okay.
Was it a good idea or not?
No, it is. I mean, you have Tesla right now that's also come out also with, different batteries for the buildings, battery backups. That way, it actually does help you with the solar panels and you're not sitting there waiting on the sun. You actually have the batteries that are better now than what they've been. So no, it's a good idea. So the ACs, they're supposed to bring us back something on the ACs, and they were counting lights already. And we can do an assessment. We've gone out, there's actually a company that come in, last year.
I thought AEP would do that for you too. There's no cost.
I do know that they had, the other company that was coming in, the ones that come in, that we've had in the past, they work on a percentage, and what shoots everything out of the water the last time that they brought one in is because they think Geo is ours. And since the percentage that they would help save, they make more money, once they find out that Geo is not ours, or the prison's not ours, they take off running. Yeah, but we'll look into that.
Judge, I have a question for Mr. Carl. Is there any grant money out there for solar panels for county buildings that you could tap into? Nothing? Have to research. Find out and see if there's anything out there that help us out.
Item B, building maintenance utilities of $29,866.14, money from,
Contingency.
okay. A motion,
Just bring back a contingency.
a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item C, hospital, $481.
It says other, it says others. Can I just make a motion that we allow everybody to move their operating to capital and roll it over for the rest of the year? Every single department in this county?
That would be up to you guys. Typically, the best way to do capital is to identify your need during the budget process
I'm
and
just
then
asking.
fund that need,
I'm
not
asking,
to
what would
give
be
this
the
continual
effect on
amount.
this budget to do that?
Okay, can you say that again?
To make a motion to move everybody's remaining operating into capital and roll it over to next year.
It would be a challenge, but we could do it, yes.
Okay, what did we use for beginning cash balance?
Right around 5 million.
How much of that was anticipated to be rolled over from this year's budget?
Like 700 something.
Hmm?
To roll over. In other words, we have usually the 3 million.
You have your unrestricted reserve part, I get that. But
Which
then
was-
we always anticipate a rollover of funds.
That is included in the 5 million.
No, the question is, you usually have the 3 million, right? And then there's a percentage from everybody else's department that rolls over the next year's budget.
That's how we get to the
The
5
dollar
million.
amount, uh-huh.
Right, that's how we
What
get to
is
the 5 million.
that, what is that dollar?
Well,
In other words, what was our unrestricted reserves that we were carrying anyway? It was $3.4 million, $4 million. We carried an unrestricted reserve in this budget,
right.
and we increased that reserve
Mm-hmm.
by what we anticipate to roll over that was not used.
Your beginning cash balance is estimated at $5 million coming
I
in.
understand.
Now, inside that, you're gonna have 2 months of revenues that are estimated from October 1 till December 1. I'm sorry, that, we're gonna have an AR built for those that we can receive in that time. Then we're gonna have our encumbrances that are in there. So it is an estimate. That $5 million is an estimate.
Okay, my budget,
Uh-huh.
judge's budget,
Uh-huh.
there's a dollar amount that I've not used.
Correct,
That
there
is
is.
going to be part of the $5 million that rolls over.
It was an estimate, yes.
It is an estimate.
We
So
estimated that you would spend
everybody's dollar
approximately
amount,
6%.
ballpark of ball.
What would it
Correct.
reduce the $5 million beginning cash balance, I guess, if you want to put it that way? If we rolled over all operating to capital?
It wouldn't reduce the beginning cash balance at all.
Well, it would have to.
Why would it have to?
Well, because
Because you're anticipating non-expenditures of certain funds.
But that activity is gonna take place in the new year. So that activity is gonna take place in that appropriation in the following year, so it's not gonna reduce your
Now
beginning
we're
cash.
splitting hairs. There's about $700,000-800,000 there that people are not going to spend.
But there's way more than that. Way more.
That's what we're getting at.
Okay.
The point I'm trying to get at.
It's like my first number was $1 million something and your face changed, so I'm sitting here trying to read you.
Mm-hmm.
And then, so what would that number be?
I was not asked to come anywhere to calculate.
I would just, a ballpark. What do we normally roll over? It was just a
Sure, if
I
you wanna
wasn't
say,
looking for an exact to the
if you wanna say
penny.
5 to 7, you can say 5 to 7.
500 to 700,000 if we would roll over into capital.
Yeah. Does everybody need that capital? And that's up to you guys to decide. You guys control this
He's trying to
budget.
make a point.
I understand that.
P&E.
You're right, I understand that. And
Okay.
we know that purchasing capital is always best when you identify the need and then you
I
go get the
understand the
capital.
process, I'm not asking about the process, I'm asking about the financial effect.
Anytime.
Going to reduce
Mhm.
your $5 million fund balance. One way or the other, which means you're gonna have to add this money into expenditures in next year's budget.
Right, all it would do is increase the deficit in next year's budget. It wouldn't do anything.
All right, okay, let me rephrase it.
Okay.
In next year's budget, you have an anticipated fund balance of $3.3 million.
It's actually a little higher now, right?
Well, I gotta get to the number, dude.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, it's like 4 something, so it
Sure.
would reduce that fund balance
That it would.
by that
because-
amount.
Because it would increase
My
the deficit.
question would be, what would that amount be?
That's,
I guess,
if you want to say, if you want to say,
about how much do we roll over?
Throw a
Yeah.
card at the board and give you a number.
yeah, there you go. We'll say $1 million.
Okay.
I will make a motion that all operating roll over to capital and be rolled over into the next fiscal year.
Come on, that is,
Hey, if we're gonna do it for
you
some,
guys
we're
have
gonna do it
fiduciary
for all.
responsibility.
Okay. No,
None of this
we got a
stuff either,
motion.
but who the hell did that start?
It's okay, we got a motion. Motion is seconded. You're gonna second it?
Yes, sir.
No shit. Or what's that in, no shit? So you're gonna cut our, he's trying to make a point, and y'all are fixing, y'all,
But yeah, I know the point that he was trying to make about us rolling over, the money over to, capital number, right?
yeah.
You're fixing to roll over $1.6 million
Oh, I rescind my motion.
to allow
I will
them,
rescind my motion, so, no,
Okay.
no, sorry about
You
that.
made your point, scared
More
it.
clarity, sorry about that, yeah.
Okay.
Rescind my motion.
Okay, anybody got my Atlanta? Eli?
it's interesting that when it's 1.6, we get scared, when it's 30, we don't give a damn.
We had a motion, there was no second, can I say there's no second? We're good, motion failed. All right, back to item C, I need to move $481. I don't even take milk right now. I need a motion to move $481 from the out of contingency. Thank you. Have a motion to move $481 out of contingency, do I need a second?
Second, since you-
Thank you, sir. Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0. Item F. That made me nervous. Item F, 83rd District Court jurors to capital.
You know, what we got here is we do have a computer that was damaged, in that water damage. We did not receive the check for it yet. We did receive the check for the damage to the infrastructure. So we'd like to go ahead and just, order this and wait, to receive
Yeah,
the
let's just
funds.
do it, motion to approve.
Okay. Now, right, now when that 1,200 comes in, it'll just be receipted into, general fund miscellaneous in the new fiscal year.
Okay. I have a motion. All those in favor? I mean, I have a second. Second.
Second, yes.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. We're gonna go back to the hearing, on the tax rate. I'm gonna open up the hearing for the tax rate. We're gonna close the hearing for the tax rate. All right, we'll close the hearing for the tax rate. We opened it, we closed it. Nobody. We're gonna keep on, then we'll come back to the other stuff. Certification. Do this. Rhonda's still here? She leave? No. Okay, well, where's she at? Let's go to 43, that way she can leave. Approving an adjustment for rent for Copa del Amistad event, item number 43, if y'all don't mind. They've been trying to have this event, they did meet with Edgar, met with Edgar, Dr. Paula, and the doctors have sort of given guidance as to how this could happen. The 50% rule stands. The only problem with the 50% is that you still need a social distance. So they were at 3,000, went down to about 1,466 with everything. And at that number, it will drop even a little bit more, because of social distancing. They were given a plan, and, some of the thing on the plan was to, the box seats, it's like do one, skip one, do one, skip one, and then do the back row, and then do a row in the grandstand, skip a row, and then family units sit together, a couple seats apart, and then another family unit. What they're asking for is a reduction in the rent, maybe half of what the normal thing is, just because of COVID, and it's going to be real hard to actually even pay the rent.
I'll make that motion, Judge.
Second. I have a
If we had
motion.
this inside, then the stipulations would be different.
If what?
If we had this indoors,
If we had it indoor, you'd still be at the 50%.
I thought the gathering on the outside.
Well, the thing is, he allows rodeos, and it's listed to where he doesn't really have to go get permission, the 10
I
people.
mean, I'm fine with reducing the deal. I was trying to make a point.
I have a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second, Commissioner Flores. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And I guess we can discuss it more when we get to the COVID issue. I mean, we're killing small businesses by shutting them down by this. And while I agree we need to social distance, we need to wear masks, we need to do what we have to do, it's just got, it's wiping out small businesses. This whole process is, we can cram thousands of people in H-E-B and Walmart, but we can't allow anybody to do anything else. And I mean, this has to make sense at some point, and it doesn't make sense anymore.
Judge,
What do you
in this
want to reduce it
motion,
to? Huh? You made a motion, but to what?
in this motion, I'd like to say, have the setup fee remain the same, $750 to do the setup. That's where they set up a stage and everything in the arena.
Our people.
Our people, $750, and, but the rent is 50%, $500.
Can y'all pay that?
So why don't we could we just do 50% of everything?
Yeah, we can do that.
That work?
How much did you guys charge last year? Isn't it 1,500?
Whatever we charge, and whatever, because there's different little deals that we might have to do later on, it's just gonna be 50% of whatever the rates are.
That works, but I have another problem. This testing the bull riders
Okay.
is
Let's
absurd.
do one thing.
Okay,
at a time.
all right.
We have a motion, 50%. Commissioner Wardlaw, second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. The testing of bull riders, that's something that we'll need to visit with Dr. Loud.
Okay, well,
And
That's gonna
we
kill
have a
us.
COVID deal later on, and we can bring that up.
because testing the bull riders is
No,
no
in my
different
deal,
than
my deal is
testing
so that,
Bo,
no,
because I don't know where he's been either.
and
Or
my,
anybody else in this room.
my thing is, when we visited on that, if they're staying on the other side, and it's the group and all them all together, then, in my opinion, why test them?
Right.
So that's something that
Well,
we'll
and
need
we
to
had
talk about.
discussed that we won't have any signatures signed on the premises
Yep.
or handshaking or any of that kind of stuff, so that definitely needs to be discussed before we
Move forward.
move forward. If we're gonna test them, I
And
don't
we've
think
got
that's gonna
COVID
work.
later on, but we're gonna wait till 10:30, because that's what time Loud and all them can get on, and we're trying to get to everything else.
Okay,
All right?
all right, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about the closing of Oasis, but we'll. Another subject. Item 25, certification of revenue and assignment, assigned appropriations. A, $286,569, hail damage buildings.
Motion to approve.
Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item B, $1,963.50, hail damage to vehicles.
Move.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item C, $3,974.48, water damage, 83rd District Court.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner
Second.
Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Everybody said aye?
Aye.
D, $1,800 donation to the food distribution. I guess was the one that we done the last meeting, but now we're just putting it in.
What, yeah, I need to know what you guys want, just miscellaneous, or what do you guys want?
No, when the guy gave us the check, he wanted to make sure that it was for food.
Mm-hmm. So how do you want that,
How's that gonna be handled?
bifurcated?
How's it gonna be what?
Bifurcated? Separated? How do you, if this is something ongoing, we can set up a special revenue fund, but if it's just a few one-time deals, then there's really no reason to. It's just a general grant receipt, and we can substantiate that you did have, food distribution.
Well, you
expenses.
just get it as close as possible to the people that need the
Okay.
food.
All right, so then,
Or affected by COVID.
right, and then back on C, that's what we're gonna do with that one, that's gonna be miscellaneous simply because that's already been repaired. Parks budget's about to close, there's no reason to put it back in there. The hail damages, we do have the hail damages account, we'll put those into there, all right?
Do I have a motion on item D?
Move.
Motion Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye? Aye. 5-0 vote. Item 26, advertising the court. Advertising the court of the coronavirus funding grant in the amount of $145,225.25.
This is just the CESF grant that we applied for, back in the beginning. It's $145,000. It did allow for 2 full-time contact tracers at 32 and some sort of incendiary device along with a structure bill to protect that incendiary device. Now, we will work with the granting official to decide, we don't have 5 months to spend these funds, and you can't spend 12 months of salary in 5 months. So we'll decide, how to appropriate that when we get with them.
And where are we gonna put this incineration device?
Incineration device is gonna be located in the sheriff's.
And it is for,
It is to,
The
burn them.
PPE, everything else that they're doing.
from like anybody, the hospital brings it, everybody, or just us, or
County personnel.
what is everybody else doing with it?
The hospital,
Yep,
I think they have their own incinerator, I don't know what they're doing with theirs.
okay.
A motion?
We need a motion, or what is this?
Well, we're bringing it in, right?
This is just,
Correct.
there's no action.
I'm sorry?
You're just advising.
Okay, so we want to certify that revenue then on that?
Can we?
We can, we do have a certification letter.
Understand.
Or we can wait, you want to wait till next, we're not going to spend it till October 1.
Yeah, I
Next
mean, the way
quarter,
this is
October 15.
worded, this is just an advice.
You gonna bring it
Okay.
back?
We can do that, yeah.
Thanks. The COVID, we can wait till about 10:30. Item 27. Terminating burn ban?
I think we need to hold off on this. We still can do permits, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna terminate it completely?
That's what, Jerry had suggested.
It'll be brought back anytime.
Yeah, I think it'd be the thing to do right now. I mean, it's all greened up.
I understand that, but, you know,
Well,
it's not gonna stay that way.
we can terminate it, it ends next
I
month.
like to go to the farmers.
Huh?
Whatever they wanna do.
Motion.
I'm gonna vote for it.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Wardlaw, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against?
Aye.
4-1 vote. Approving the use of fairgrounds for Halloween drive-through. They're gonna do, I think they had a meeting yesterday to see if they had anybody that really wanted to do it. At the meeting, quite a few people turned out. It would be like the food distribution and then maybe do like a little tunnel that they drive through, as they're on their way out. They would enter on, Main Street and exit on 15th Street.
Motion to approve.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 30, presenting for inclusion in the minutes, a document entitled assignment of documents and rights to proposed rock quarry from the SE Ranch. Bottom line is, we have not included this because I think we received it like 2 weeks ago.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0 vote. Item 31, approving document to cancel the PUC, CCNs for the sewer at the SC Ranch and for inclusion in the minutes.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Commissioner
Second.
Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, item 32. A bunch of stuff. Approving certification form for County Transportation Infrastructure Fund Grant Program.
Move.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second.
Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, item 33, approving resolution for flood, infrastructure fund to the Texas Water Development Board.
Move.
Have a motion, Commissioner
Second,
Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, item 34, approving contract from Esser and Company Consulting LLC for flood infrastructure fund.
Move.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote, approving administratively complete letter from Texas Department of Agriculture for Valverde County, Texas CDBG contract number 7216075.
Move.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner
Second, Judge.
Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 5-0 vote, approving the preparation of a Valverde County Parks Master Plan as recommended by Texas Parks and Wildlife Department, scoring criteria and appoint committee to assist with plan. We had talked about this, I think, a couple of times in the last 8 years, but we need to put a group together.
But, can you be on that, Carl, or not? You need to be on that, right?
Me?
Yes.
Okay,
Carl, Emily Grant,
Edgar?
Edgar, Carlos. Could be any number, it doesn't have to.
It don't matter, it's just,
Do we have a location for this park?
no, this one's just so you can start looking at a master plan for different parks.
Oh, okay.
I'd like to be on it, and then if I don't get on, Tom will be on it. Anybody else?
That should be enough.
Okay. Carl, Emily, Edgar, Carlos, and Judge's office, form of a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, all look second. Who's gonna second?
Second, Judge.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 37, applying to the Lower Colorado River Authority for a Community Development Partnership Program grant, deadline January 3rd, 1st.
Move.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Let's do this. On the budget, everybody's okay with the budget?
I've got something, Judge, I left out. Can we go back?
Yeah, I wanted to go back and let's take care of that page, the record vote and everything. I wanted to give everybody a bit of time in case we needed to do something else. So yes, let's go back to item 6, budget workshop. What do you got there?
Judge, I'd just like to, make a request to the court that, I don't know, we have not decided yet, or we have on the food distribution. I don't know if the commissioner has something to say about it, but I would like to request a reefer for the community center. We have a lot of issues, you know, when we get, needs and stuff like that, we don't have a place where to keep them safe.
This, I think at the last meeting, we had talked about, a cooler or a reefer. Where's the-
So we have a site survey with Apex, the community center for the walking cooler, and I have prices for the research area.
Okay.
How many reefers do we have now?
Two reefers we got.
2 reefers.
And they got paid for by how?
One of the first one was paid for, I'd come to the court to ask permission to use some money from precinct 2 and from,
So they're paid out of the commissioner's budget.
the first one was paid out of, precinct 2 and some money from, fairgrounds. That was, I think that was one that cost 15,000 or something. The second one was actually paid for out of, precinct 2. All right?
Yes.
So then there's money in precinct 4, we just moved it, and it'll buy a reefer.
Okay. We're talking about budget. What does a reefer cost?
A brand new reefer costs 60,000.
How much?
A brand new one,
How much?
60,000.
Shoot, I'm gonna put this in, shoot, sorry.
Commissioner Flores, foreman, did come to me for a used one, I think like 2015, and I gave him those prices, I think like last month,
Okay, what'd you pay for
and
this?
those were like 30,000.
What'd you pay for the second?
15,000.
No, but, the one you bought from, in Eagle Pass?
In Eagle Pass, that one we paid, 30,000.
It was 30,000. It was like in 2015, right? And that's the price I gave, Ray, your foreman. I think I gave him a whole Excel sheet of those prices.
I'll make a motion, Judge, asking the court to provide me with $30,000 to buy a reefer for the community center.
A motion, Commissioner Flores, do I have a second?
So, just real quick, I'm sorry. The walk-in cooler, scratch that off.
Yeah, that's out.
Okay, we have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor?
All right.
Aye, I'm gonna vote for that one.
Okay, so
I'm a vote against.
Okay, that's it.
We just gave them money, and we turned around and gave them more money.
okay, so we want to put that in our capital outlay?
Yes, sir.
Or are we going directly into precinct 4 capital
Capital
outlay?
outlay.
Okay, general fund
I thought we were
capital.
gonna put it in the community center.
Okay,
Yeah, put it
What
under
would
the
you guys like?
community center, that's fine.
Then the what? In the what, Commissioner? In the what, Commissioner?
Our capital outlay be fine.
not in precinct 4 capital outlay, just in their
No,
general
capital.
capital outlay, they won't move it out and transfer the
Yes.
assets, right? Okay.
Does anybody else have anything on budget workshop?
Judge, on the
This
food
is the time,
distribution,
we're handing out candy.
It's a free ride, y'all better step up.
you're talking about the food distribution. We're having, distribution, Thursday, and,
Okay,
Commissioner Vasquez is putting this on, and we ask that all commissioners, all precincts
This,
participate.
all right.
At
Do
the
you all have
time.
anything on budget? Is there a budget? We're good? Okay, we're not coming back to this anymore, I'm gonna close this page out. It's like we're doing an option.
I just want to clarify that reefer trailer after October 1.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay? Okay. We're gonna go to item 11, budget adoption. So with the changes and everything that were made in the budget, the way it stands right now, today we've done a reefer, we moved stuff over in capital outlay, and we've given $1,200 to employees, that have not received raises and not elected officials, and full-time employees.
Okay.
All right? So those are the changes that we did today.
And the date on that is
It'd be in December.
in December, and we're going to stipulate that in, if you're an employee on X date or something, I would imagine.
If you're an employee of December 1st, then you get your
Okay,
day. A full-time employee.
correct.
Okay? Budget adoption, Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote?
But yes,
Commissioner Vasquez, how do you vote?
yes,
Commissioner, Nettleton,
Because of the changes we made last time, I'm vote against it.
against it? Commissioner Nettleton is a no. Commissioner Flores, yes. And the judge, yes. It is a 4-1 vote. The budget is adopted. Item 12, tax rate adoption. Do I have a motion?
Nope, somebody needs to make it.
Okay. Well, I haven't read this. I can understand it. I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of .512, which is effectively, sir?
We have 5121?
I have .512 in this one.
We do, okay.
Are you okay with that?
I had 5121.
Okay, well, we can change it right here.
Okay.
Does that work? I'm sorry, you did have it, Commissioner. I thought it was a parenthesis. .5121. which is effectively a 9.42% effective 0.4680. Are we good so far?
We are fine, that is a 9.42% increase above the effective.
What percent?
9.2% increase over the effective rate.
9.42.
9.42.
Correct.
We're raising taxes 9.42%
Effectively.
effective.
Right.
But because of the weird ass calculation,
Mhm.
it's still below the 8%.
It is, because of the sales tax.
The math doesn't work, yeah.
Absolutely no sense.
Because of the adjustment for sales tax and debt service, correct.
Okay. Tax rate will raise more taxes for maintenance and operations than last year's tax rate. The tax rate will effectively be raised by, and it says 8.22%. Are we good so far?
We are.
Percent and will raise taxes for maintenance and operations on a $100,000 home by approximately $82.20. All right, the M&O rate is 0.4514, the interest and sinking 0.0380.
We have to take them separate. They have to be voted on separate. Okay.
All right, let me go through them and then we'll come back and do a record vote on each one. Because everybody gave me notes here. Farm to market 0.0227. All right. We are going to take a record vote, one at a time, for the M&O 0.4514. Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Nettleton, how do you vote?
No.
Commissioner Flores, how do you vote?
Yes.
Judge, how do you vote? I vote yes. Interest and sinking 0.0380. Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Nettleton, how do you
Yes.
vote? Sir?
Yes.
Commissioner Flores, how do you vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. Farm to market 0.0227. Commissioner Wardlaw, how do you vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Vasquez?
Yes.
Commissioner Nettleton?
Yes.
Commissioner Flores? Yes. And I vote yes. With everything that I just said, Matt, and where is Roy? Are we good? So I'm gonna take a vote, just a record vote on everything else, on adopting the tax rates, just so we're clear. Commissioner Wardlaw?
Yes.
Yes, on all the tax rates. Commissioner, Vasquez?
Yes.
Commissioner Nettleton?
No.
Commissioner Flores?
Yes.
And myself vote yes. We have taken a vote on the M&O, the interest and sinking, and the farm to market. And the tax rate adoption, it is passed. Are we good? Crossed everything and dotted, and the math don't work. Okay. The item 38, approving the purchase of a London mosquito fogger at a cost of $18,492.25.
I'm gonna table that, Judge.
Man, I appreciate that. Motion to table, Commissioner Flores. Second,
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. All those against? Five, you okay?
Yeah.
5-0 vote. Item 39, requesting the use of community center on the 24th of October for a drive-through job fair.
Motion to approve, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second,
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
Aye.
5-0 vote. Item 40, executing contract with project engineer Coastline Railway Engineering LLC.
Yeah, Judge, we met with Coastline a couple weeks ago. We received their contract for $425,000, which we knew was coming, and we need to, sign so we can hire them to be our project engineer.
And just for clarification, Commissioner, this one here was based on certain fees. That dollar amount was on the high side, if they ended up doing all the tests, all the purchasing and then doing all the forms and stuff, right?
That is correct.
And this comes out of How are we paying for this?
This one right here, we talked, we're gonna have to set up, an item to be able to fund this whole project. Between the time that, and that's gonna come back to this, we'll end up, I'm gonna bring it
You
back.
can't approve this. You can't expend funds if you don't have a line item to expend funds.
That,
Is it due right now?
no, it's not due right now.
You're approving a contract
I was not
without
right in on
funding available to fund it.
Mhm.
How are you approving a contract without funds available?
How many funds do we need?
Okay, $500,000 or $600,000.
$425,000 for this one.
Okay.
You have no funds.
So,
You're approving an expenditure on a contract with no funds available.
We have contingency line item funded at 1 million. If this is, I was not read in on this, I don't really know what's going on this. But we do have a contingency line item that exceeds this amount, if that's what
And
we need.
then ultimately, are we gonna pay for this out of the tax fund?
Ultimately, yes.
But we doesn't do an intent to reimburse, so we're not gonna be able to pay for it.
This one here-
We're not gonna be able to reimburse ourselves.
This one here-
Because we already expended the funds.
This one here, we can pay for it out of, the dollars that TechStop's gonna pay us.
Okay, we can do that. And then in addition to that, we do have the 60 days. We have the 60 days from the first invoice
But you
coming
still
out.
have to do the intent to reimburse.
Right, we have 60 days to make that intention.
But you're doing this, you're approving the contract prior to the intent to reimburse.
But we are not expending anything. No check has been issued, no disbursement has been done. Okay.
But these
I don't know.
funds,
I don't know.
but these
That's what you
funds
say.
can be spent out of funds, that TechStop is going to pay us,
Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
right? So at the end of the day, we need to set aside funds to be able to pay the $425,000 until we get reimbursed from TechStop. So those funds can come out of contingency. Can that be out of your motion, Commissioner Flores?
Yes, that'll be part of my motion.
So we're gonna spend, is this for all the expenditures for this project or just this expenditure?
No, just that one. And then what we'll do is, in the next meeting, what we'll do is we'll clarify because we had talked about setting aside some funds out of our, fund balance in order to be able to pay monies as they come in until we get reimbursed from TechStop. And that'll be on the next meeting in
Who's gonna
October.
handle the reimbursement?
The project itself, we have stuff later on in the deal, who's gonna take care of it, the project manager and stuff like that.
Because this thing's cost us $2 million because it took 16 years to get it done. Which again,
Have a motion, Commissioner Flores, do we have a second?
Second, Judge.
Second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Against?
all right,
4-1 vote. Commissioner Nettleton voted against it. Item 41, deliver acceptance of bid letter to Hunter Industries for their signatures.
Judge, the letter being prepared by purchasing department, informing of our issuance of purchase orders based on their bid specifications.
You want to bring this back until that gets done?
Yes,
Okay. You want to table it?
I'll table.
Have a motion to table, Commissioner Flores, all those, I need a second.
Second.
Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor?
all right.
5-0 vote. Appointing responsible person in charge and project manager are full-time employees of county who are full-time. Both positions may be filled by one person.
My recommendation of court would be, our county engineer, Carlos Velazquez, to serve both positions.
Second,
Carlos Velazquez, our county engineer.
Fabulous. Who? We heard you, Aaron. We have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 43, we already did. Item 44, authorizing Sheriff Joe Martinez to sign modification number 1 for HIDA 2020 grant.
move,
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second. Who? Who seconded?
Gus.
Commissioner Flores, all those in favor, bless you. All those in favor?
all right.
5-0 vote. Item 45, requesting the issuance of county cell phone for Valverde County Sheriff's Office to be issued to.
Giuseppe Galata.
That was, who made the motion?
Gus.
Commissioner Flores made a motion, second.
Second.
I have a really hard time hearing. Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. 5-0 vote. Item 46, approving holiday schedule for fiscal year 2020, 2021.
Where's the counselor? We usually get a comment here.
She's
About
there,
missing a
she's
holiday.
moody. She's moody.
I'm not here. Oh,
I look forward to your comment every year about this.
Yeah, we're missing a
I'm
month.
here,
What month are we missing?
August 27th, LBJ Day.
All right, we're gonna accept what we got.
Motion to approve is presented.
He just aggravated.
I've been doing this for 16 years.
Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
Yeah.
All right, Commissioner Wardlaw, all those in favor? 5-0 vote. Item 47,
Motion to approve. They all in compliance? Where is she?
yes, sir.
Oh, there you are.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? 5-0 vote, folks. At 10:30, they're gonna do a presentation on the COVID, the unit or whatever, the health authority. If y'all don't mind, would y'all mind taking a break right now for about 5 minutes and come back about 10:30? We'll get it
Can
straight.
we have executive session?
We can, if you want it. Do you need it?
Yeah, real briefly.
Okay, well, can we do the 10:30 and then we'll quit and we'll go in executive session?
Sure.
They just need a little bit of time to set up, whatever. All right? Thank you.
And I want,
Okay. Oh my God. It is 10:40 and we're back in session. Both docs, I think both of y'all are in the waiting room if y'all wanna, so we can see you. Laura and Dr. JJ. There we go. There's one. How's it going? And is Dr. JJ on?
I'm here.
Oh, okay. You're neat? They wanted to know who Nina's iPad was. That's Dr. JJ.
Sorry about
No, it's all good. It's all good. Both docs, I appreciate y'all showing up and, you know, if y'all want to just start, you know, maybe give us a little presentation on the numbers and then, you know, which way we're running, we'd really appreciate it. There he is. Howard, the floor is y'all's, whatever y'all want to do. Whichever one of y'all want to start, y'all start. We're watching.
Dr. Lauber, we'll start.
Sure, no problem. Can somebody make me an admin so I can share the screen?
Yeah, I can't do that. Yeah, I'd lose you. Is she an admin now?
No, she has to go, share screen.
Okay, we all figured it out. We're gonna wait. They're doing it. I don't know what they're doing. And we've also got Amanda and Martin are here here at the deal. Morning. Those are the two tracker tracers that y'all hired at the very beginning. The two people back there in the back.
How many we got now?
Six. 6 here, and I think the city has 12?
Cool.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
good morning, Dr. Palau. I wanted to say hello.
Hi, Anna. Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So I'm off now.
Bye.
No, she doesn't tell us nothing. I feel bad now.
You don't rate them.
You're not very nice.
How do I turn off my speaker? My mic?
Too late now.
No.
Dr. Palu, can you go ahead and do your share screen, please?
Yeah.
There you go.
You're on. You're it.
Okay. So, basically, these were the numbers that were shown yesterday. Right now, we are in 2,203 community positive cases. Our community positivity rate is 18.76%. We are 100 deaths confirmed by the state, but we still have 20 deaths that are currently under investigation. As you can see in the chart, the numbers kind of are going down, they're trending down, but I'll explain further why I believe this is happening. And the total deaths, well, they kind of have been increasing, and right now they're staying steady at 100. If we take in consideration the active and the recovered, well, right now, I think we have been moving around the 100s, the lower 100s for the active cases. The recovered, we are like 88, almost 89%. We still have 35 individuals who we can't contact, despite everything we've tried to do. So I think with these individuals, we were gonna try to contact them by mail. So the hospitalizations currently are in one at the hospital in Valverde County. However, it's important to note that all the critical cases are being transferred to San Antonio.
How many of those are there
Currently, there's 12.
that are in San Antonio?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And we still have a mortality rate of 4.54%. This is just considering the 100, not the 120. So this is the positivity rate looking at it per week. So, and the red line that you see, that's our testing trend. So beginning of August, we had a high positivity rate, but still our testing was higher. And right now, our testing trend has been going down, but still our positivity rate remains high, and that is because only individuals who are positive or were exposed, were high risk exposure to a positive case test. Right now, in a household, if this individual has symptoms, just that individual tests. The whole family kind of assumes that they were exposed and just quarantine with that individual. So that's why we're having kind of less testing, but we are still catching those individuals in the household that are positive. Also,
How are you catching them? If you're not testing them, how are you catching them?
No. So the individuals that are having symptoms and were exposed, they do test. But the other ones from the household, they don't test. So we just assume that the whole household is positive, and then they're released when that individual.
But you're counting them on the positivity rate?
No, we're not.
You're not counting them on active cases or anything?
No.
No, we just count confirmed test cases by test.
Okay.
So what I was saying is that also clinics currently don't test people who are asymptomatic. So that also increases our positivity rate.
I noticed a truck the other day on the Dale in front of somebody's business that said COVID testing.
Yes, I've seen it before, but I don't know whose it is. And I've never.
It wasn't at a doctor's office, it was just at somebody's business.
Yeah.
Sangor? And is there not required to be a license or something to test, or just whoever? Or?
So I've never seen it open, so I don't know if it's operating right now.
Sorry.
So this is just another picture of our testing trends, a little bit more visual. So in July, we had very high testing rates, and currently has been going down, as you can see clearly in the chart. So looking a little bit more of our demographics, we see that the majority of population are confirmed cases are female. The average age is 42. The average age of disease is 72.8. If you see the distribution of age, it's pretty much along the 40s, 49, and we still have a lower population of cases that are over 90. So, as we did in the beginning, the 20 to 29 is really high. And, what has happened now is that the population from 30 to 59 is catching up with the younger ones. So I think this is really important just to consider, school starting, that, well, 0 to 9 and 10 to 19 are the school age, and we're still seeing almost 16% of them being positive. Talking a little bit more about asymptomatic cases, 17% of them are asymptomatic. Of those, 45% were due to family exposure. Then second will be community with 26%, and then work at the end. Our age distribution for asymptomatic positive individuals would be obviously the younger population. So that's why we see the charts here to the left. I think that's all I have for you. I don't know if anyone has any questions about the numbers.
So are we going in the right direction? Because it seems like the cases are going down, but the deaths are going up.
So I think this is just another example of why of the testing trends going down. So we're still seeing deaths. Well, the testing has gone down. We can't actually measure.
We're not having as many people get tested at all, like we were, like she said, in July in that area, when we were doing when we had the positive cases, the 50s, the 60s, and the 70s a day, we were having a lot of testing being done right now. And I mean, if you'll look, the testing is pretty much dropped off.
No, I mean, it does, but it seems like your death rate is increasing with your positive cases are decreasing, so.
Yeah. The other thing that we've seen is though that our hospitalizations, we're not, I mean, heck, right, we had people and we had, 15, 20, 25 people at the hospital at any given time that for a while that were hospitalized. Right now, we're not seeing that. So ones that are going in are sicker, I guess.
Are these people dying in the hospital or are they dying at home?
Most of them in San Antonio. In San Antonio? In the hospital. And Doc Gutierrez, I mean, like I think you had said earlier, one of the conversations that y'all were on, I mean, the more critical individuals, I mean, they're being shipped out. Now they're allowing us to ship them out. So, I mean, they're not here.
So our numbers are a little deceiving because we don't have those numbers that are going to San Antonio.
I know all the numbers, the people that are
No, I mean in the hospital. We have them in the test positive part, but we don't have, in the hospitalization, we don't show that number. So we don't know how many are actually in the hospital.
No?
No, I'm here in the hospital right now.
No, like the hospital in San Antonio.
We only have one patient in the hospital.
No, yeah, I understand, but I meant the people that have been moved to San Antonio, they're still, in my opinion, considered in the hospital. I mean, they may not be in Del Rio, but they're in the hospital.
Exactly, yeah. Now, one thing, the other thing is that we had a board certified, room specialist here at Del Rio for the longest time. His last day was September the 8th. So after that, or even before that, we decided to go ahead and ship some of the sicker patients to San Antonio. So that death rate may be, there'll probably be a little of a lag in the sense that, yeah, our numbers were going down, but we still had those sick individuals in San Antonio, and unfortunately, eventually passed away. So it's kind of deceiving in the sense that, yes, our numbers are going down, but our death rate's going up, but that's because we're that last relative patient that were sick, unfortunately, passed on. So, we'll probably see the death rate go down as unfortunately the last of the sick COVID patients that were sent to San Antonio did pass away.
What's the lag time then, Doc, between the time they pass away and the time they wind up on this chart list? Usually,
the individuals, what they've been doing now, if they passed away in San Antonio and a funeral home from Del Rio goes to go pick them up, and they're from Del Rio, the sheriff automatically, right off the bat, the funeral homes are reporting it to the sheriff, and the sheriff are reporting it to the doctors, so it's quick.
Yeah, but don't you have to wait, I know we had a conversation about waiting for a death certificate
Yeah,
and.
and on one of the charts, you'll see that there was, I think, 20 of them there
Yeah.
that they were still investigating. So we get the name right away, and then, the death certificate, it'll take anywhere from 2 to a week and a half or 2 weeks.
So that 20, at some point will be added, but
Yeah.
but it's not more recent 20 people that passed away. It could have been a week or two.
Well, yeah, and at the beginning, it was taking a little bit longer to confirm the 20. Right now, it's not taking that long. And it was taking longer because they were doing the autopsies, they were, I mean, there was just more people dying.
I'm just trying to get a grasp on how your caseloads go down, but your death rates go up, and I'm just trying to understand if it was because of a lag in reporting and you had a spike, or, I'm just trying to understand.
There for a while, I guess, I mean, we were having, Sheriff, 7, 8 people that were being reported to the unit on a daily basis. And now, we're not getting that right now.
Haven't had any, I've got one pending to get a name, from San Antonio, from one of the funeral homes. But they didn't have a name, they were just supposed to pick up a body.
Yeah. I was just trying to get a grasp
So
on
just
why.
remember also that the patients that are hospitalized, they're hospitalized for 30 days or more sometimes. And then we get their death, so we will, retrospectively, noted.
Can we
Also, the state, the hospitals report the deaths to the state, and then we receive them.
Is there any
So
way to?
sometimes there's a lag in that communication.
Is there any way to add on to that chart when it says hospitalizations 1, where we can add something that shows how many are actually in Del Rio, and how many are actually in San Antonio, so you have a realistic number of what is actually hospitalized related to Del Rio?
Yeah, I can definitely add it. I wasn't adding it because I was waiting for the hospital to do like an official statement saying that the hospital was not a COVID hospital anymore. But I haven't seen that, so I just keep the one.
Is that
But yeah, definitely I can
something,
add it.
is that something we're fixing to do? We are not a COVID hospital anymore?
But it's not a COVID unit, but I'm not.
We do have the ability to take care of, non-critically ill COVID-19 pneumonia patients. We do have a unit for that, but in terms of the ICU upstairs for the critically ill patients, we're no longer going to accommodate those. We do have one bed in the event that we need to put someone upstairs that's critically ill, but by and large, when people roll into the ER and the COVID-19 pneumonia, they're very, very sick. Pretty much we're going to transfer those out.
Judge, I have a question about the can't contact. Do they end up on the recovery list, or how do you determine if they recovered or not?
So with those cases, we determine them as can't contact because they have already passed their quarantine period. And when we call to release them, we can locate them. So I don't want to classify them as active or recovered because I don't know. So I don't know if they expired. I don't know if they were, sometimes we get a lot of border patrol detainees. They were transferred to another facility. Sometimes they don't live in the Rio anymore. So that's why I don't want to classify them as either of them because they're just like a separate entity.
Okay, so they're positive and then can't contact?
But they're over their quarantine.
And I guess the key there is that they're over the quarantine, most of them, right?
Yeah, yeah.
How does our numbers relate to those nationally?
Are we high?
Well, I mean, we made headlines, national headlines for the wrong reason not too long ago, so, that's the turning point right there. So we were through the roof, per capita, for 100,000 capita, so, yeah, that's the kind of notoriety that I don't think we would actually look for or be, proud of. But be that as it may, it happened. And I'm hoping we never get to that ugly, point in our existence again. Now, fast forward to now, yeah, I know it's way low, so we're looking pretty right now, but we were looking very ugly, 6 weeks ago, a couple of months ago, so, yeah, I mean, it's almost night and day, but as everybody knows, things could change here in the next month to 2 months, with the change of the weather, kids back in school, Halloween coming up, Thanksgiving coming up, so, I mean, that could be a recipe for disaster once again for us.
Did we see
Hopefully not, but,
Did we see a spike from, the last holiday?
Labor Day, I didn't see much of a spike, to be honest with you. I think people were kind of very numb to the idea that, Labor Day was just not gonna be a time to celebrate. And so, I don't think people were eager to, get together and have cookouts like most people do, for Labor Day. It just didn't happen. Thank God, for that. And so consequently, we didn't get that, spike that could have happened. But I think people are kind of decided to say, this Labor Day was kind of keep it low. Here we are. So, yeah.
One of the things, Doc, and I just got a text message to mention it. The work that y'all are doing, the work that y'all have been doing with the schools, I know that, Roland and y'all and Martin and Amanda and the Tracers, I know that y'all have been visiting with the school, just to make sure that if something happens, that we have enough people on that. But y'all have been meeting, again, with the schools, working with them, and I think the other day, y'all were on a Zoom meeting or whatever, I think with all the principals, and y'all were giving out guidelines, or y'all had handed out some guidelines, and then I think y'all were gonna meet. I think Dr. Dios at that point had said maybe do the assistant principals as your contact, and then it went to the principal. Maybe they do that as your point of contact for school. Y'all have been working really hard with the school districts, just to make sure that we streamline who's gonna be, who y'all are gonna contact, how the information is gonna flow back and forth between y'all, and make sure that we don't have a hiccup on the sort of the information highway. Again, I wanna commend y'all on that work. I was in a couple of the meetings that y'all were at, and I think y'all were gonna have a couple more. I don't know if y'all wanna add to that, or not, or.
Well, I have to give credit for Dr. Palau, and I know she and Roland and Amanda have been heavily involved with that, and we need to be on that because, as soon as we get any kind of activity, we gotta be hot on their trails in terms of tracing and contacting and investigating. So, let's have another meeting real soon, just to kind of iron out some of the make sure everything's on the same page, that when there's a child that should not be in school and they're in school, we need to kind of look into that, make sure that everybody's on the same page and that, everything's taken, serious, so, yeah, it's looking good, room for improvement, but the key is to be hot on the trail on any positives that pop up, related to school.
My understanding.
So, I just want to add up to that, yes, we had a meeting, with everyone, and then we had a further meeting with the assistant principals or the principals. They were gonna be the point of contact from the school. Basically what will happen is that the point of contact will report cases from the campus, then report to Sandra Hernandez, and then, to myself. And then, sorry, yes. Back to my Italian. And after this, can you just follow up and I'll be back?
Right, so, yes,
Burning down the
It's
house.
a situation where, I mean, this is all new to everybody, of course, there's gonna be there's gonna be a learning curve in terms of what needs to be done by every entity, every school, every principal. There can be a little bit of hiccups here and there, like Judge mentioned, but, the key is to stay on top of things, and not let it burn down. The last thing we need is a flurry of positives in either school, so we need to be very proactive and be hot on the trail of any positives that pop up, and then everybody be very honest and sincere, in terms of whether it be the teachers' aides, the teachers, the assistant principals, and onwards, just to make sure that, hey, when there's a sick kid in the school, in the classroom, we need to be very vigilant with that. I know it's going to create a lot of problems with the medical community, as the weather changes and kids are close together in school. It's going to be a little bit of a nightmare for us in the medical community to figure out, does Johnny have strep, is it flu, is it COVID? It's going to be a little bit of a disaster for us in the medical field trying to sort things out. But in terms of what's going on in the classroom, we need to be very vigilant. The teachers and the assistant principals and onwards need to be very vigilant in terms of what's going on in their facilities.
Do we have access to the rapid testing results, that the new test that came out? Where you can get results in 15, 20 minutes or something?
So no, we're still doing the PCR.
Okay. Can we just not get the other one, or?
Go ahead, Dr. Lawler.
No, you go ahead.
I know that there's going to be some test sites that may be available for Del Rio. There's a company that's going to be, I think, partnering with the city to provide these quote-unquote kiosks where people can walk up to these kiosks, and they're going to be manned by certified people to do testing, and I believe the results will come in within 24 hours, Dr. Lawler, right?
24 to 48. So this company is the same one that did the testing, the Civic Center. So it's an oral swab. So basically it's a kiosk where people just walk in and swab themselves and then just give the kit to the person and then they send it to the lab. But it's still PCR, so it still takes 2 days.
One of the things that has come up also, the event at the fairgrounds, there's an individual that wants to have a concert at the fairgrounds of vehicles, like a drive-through, and all those, we'll go before them, and then they'll give us an idea, like with Diego's event at the fairgrounds. We actually met at the fairgrounds. We went seat by seat. This is what you can do. This is how you can be safe. The lines at the concession stands, all that was gone over. So they put a plan together. The event, like I say, the drive-through concert, they had one location. Now they want to bring it back to the fairgrounds. It's one of those deals that the doctors and Roland and all them, they'll visit with the individual that wants to have it, lay that out before we even go to, approve it, don't approve it, check and see if it's going to work for them. Try to get ahead of the game a little bit. That's going to be brought back to us, like that event that we want to do at the fairgrounds. I think the court on everything that the court's approved has been, we've said yes, but there has to be guidelines. Right? So, the comment that you made earlier, and I think all the members of the court agreed, is that, we need to get back to some type of normal and not hurt these businesses. But again, the court has always said, you haven't said no to any of the events. It's always been yes, but you still have to follow guidelines. You still have to follow.
Yeah, it's my understanding we closed a couple of businesses this week. We closed Oasis and Buzzard Juice. Buzzard Juice, in my opinion, should have never been open. Yeah, no, I agree.
Oasis, it was closed. They had been warned in August, I think. And we've had this conversation. I mean, it's one of those deals that the process that I think could have been done different. The outcome, though, I think needed to happen. Is one of those deals that, at the end of the day, they had more people in there, and I think they sort of hung around a little bit, we were getting text messages, like I told them, they said, you're picking sides, I'm picking sides. I go, now you've been served, so you gotta go home. But, there was a process, and again, I mean, it's one of those deals, and we talked about it, I mean,
I just don't want to see us, we're, our big corporate businesses like Walmart's and HEBs and stuff, are trucking along, making tons and tons of money. Our local businesses are the ones that are getting slammed and hurt the worst by this entire thing. And I'm all for the rules and what we need to do to protect each other. I'm not against that. But it seems like it's the little guy that's getting slammed while the big guy is able to function differently. And so I would hope we have something in place that controls what we need to control, but without.
Were these two businesses, Judge, violating the rules?
We had, one of them should never been open, so they closed it down. The other one, they had been warned, my understanding. I've not seen the citations, but I have asked for them. And I will tell you that we frequent one of them, and a couple of times that I went in, there was more people than were supposed to be in it. And we turned around at the door and left. But, we'll have that, we've had that conversation since Friday, going text messages back and forth with, Dr. JJ and Dr. Lauda. I think it was necessary. Again, didn't agree with the process, but I will back them. I will back them because at the end of the day, you just can't keep giving warning.
Right.
There has to be something.
I agree with you, but I mean, we're gonna run out of funding here December 31st for all of these people that we're paying to do this. And at some point, hopefully the federal government will give us more money, but if not, we're gonna have to pay it. But at some point, we've been at this for 8 or 9 months. Everybody knows what they need to do. And at some point, the government has to let people inform them of the facts. They need to make their decisions so that we can't continue to dictate and govern every aspect of every single person's life for the next 2 or 3 years. I mean, there has to be a point where we get to something that works. I mean, and we're spending $750,000 right now, and I don't see any end to this anytime in the near future, and I don't see any federal help anytime coming. But we have all of this cost that continues into next year's budget, and I don't know how the local taxpayers can continue to pick up the tab for this. I mean, we'll see what happens between now and the end of the year, but people know what they need to do. Our job is to inform them of the facts, and they have to be able to make decisions based off of those facts. And we can't regulate everybody's life for the next 2, 3, 4, however many years this thing's going to go on. I mean, the hope of a vaccine, who knows when that's going to happen. But, I mean, we have to get to a normal. We have to get to something that functions so that our small businesses can function and be able to make the kind of money that the big corporations are making because of this. And we're not there, and we need to get there. And I don't know how we're going to get there, but we need to get there. That's all I've got.
Sorry, anything else for the docs? Roland, yeah, come on in.
Thank you. Good morning, doctors. I have a question for you in regards to the patient who passes away and their death certificates. Are you guys taking into consideration underlying health issues, or are you just stamping COVID-19 death on them?
There's a lot of thought put into filling out the death certificate. So it's not just a knee-jerk reaction, COVID-19 automatically. There's a lot of thought put into it. I take my death certificates very serious. So I do those on a regular basis. Unfortunately, I had a lot of COVID-19 pneumonia deaths. In the death certificate, there's approximately 3 diagnoses that can be put on there. So consequently, one of those diagnoses are going to be COVID-19 pneumonia. It could also be acute MI. It could be, stroke. It could be renal failure. But they allow for 3 diagnoses. So one of them almost always is going to be COVID-19 pneumonia. And then there's some that have COVID-19 that clearly was never, the COVID-19 was never ever the diagnosis for that death, even though that patient may have had COVID-19. So, yes, I mean, a lot of thought is put into that. We take it very serious.
Well, thank you. The reason why I ask is, when a veteran passes away, his wife or her husband, the surviving spouse, qualifies for certain service, it's called DIC, dependency indemnity compensation. If they passed away from a service-connected disability, i.e. kidney cancer, prostate cancer, Lou Gehrig's disease, something that is in nature very fatal, could be very fatal, and if they didn't have that underlying condition, maybe they wouldn't have gotten COVID-19, but because of the death certificate is marked COVID-19, it's difficult for me to fight for that surviving spouse, when clearly they had underlying issues that could also have led to his death or her death. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. Well, that's a valid question, a valid concern. It really comes down to that they not had COVID-19 would they have died from, say, their kidney disease, So, COVID-19 takes the body takes a major hit for its primary organ as a lung, but then subsequent to that, everything can fall apart. So, it's a difficult thing, and many times to figure out what is it that they died from. But they're taken very serious.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Roland, y'all in here? Y'all are sitting in here? We good? Good, man? Martin? Y'all want to talk, really? Well, if y'all have any more questions for the doctors or anything? Y'all good? Yes, sir. Docs, Dr. Lauda, Dr. JJ, thank y'all so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. Y'all have a good day. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Thank you.
One of the deals, we brought up the fairgrounds a little while ago. If this guy wants to have the event, we'll go over it with him, check and see on the drive-through. The other things, the practicing, it came up. Local leagues wanted to know if they could practice at Alcoa Field, if the state is allowed. That's something that, the state's allowing sports to move forward. They're not asking to play games, but they are asking to.
I had visited with Edgar about it, on the sports leagues. The only thing I had asked him was to get some kind of release that we're not liable for any COVID-related incidents in the release.
Okay. So the practicing, y'all would be fine with that?
All right. That's perfectly fine.
Okay. Y'all have anything else on COVID? No. Where's Anna?
Judge, the only thing I will add on the practices that they are having games, that they adhere to. I know that about 2 weeks ago, good morning, Judge and Commissioner's Court, that 2 weeks ago there was a tournament that wasn't properly, did not rent the facility, and there was a lot of individual spectators there watching the game. So I think we need to go ahead and establish some protocols where that if someone does rent the facility to practice, to play games, that
They did not rent the facility, they just used the facility.
Right. It's an open gate.
Was it night or during the day?
It was during the day. And it was a youth tournament. And so there was
On
a
the
lot.
weekend?
Yes, sir. And there was a lot of spectators, and, there wasn't social distancing, so I think just in talking to Judge Owens and kind of strategizing with Edgar as well, just to kind of develop a strategy moving forward on how we're gonna properly, monitor, those areas. In particular, if soccer season starts again, or, when Little League
Do
begins.
they have access to concessions?
No, sir. No, just the restrooms that they're open, and then, of course, be able to play the games.
Well, the restrooms are just left open?
Yes, sir. That's it.
And, I don't know they were left open, but if they're left open, then that might be something out of your control, right?
If you lock them, they can't use them.
Yeah.
Unless they rented the facility.
Right. So I think Edgar and I were talking about, putting some signage up, and then if anybody does rent it, that they're given that protocols and guidelines through the governor's office, there's a list of kind of things to do, criteria to follow, whatever, so. That's it. Thank you.
I'm trying, I got zoomed out.
When the doctor ended it kicked everybody off.
Okay, well, let me check and see, I'm texting her. She said yes a little while ago, and then she said no, so.
Anna's rejoining.
Huh?
Anna's rejoining.
Is she?
On.
Can you hold her on? She's not on there, right?
She can still hear you.
Yeah, she'll go back and look at it. Let's see if she needs the executive session. She said yes, and then she said no, so. Oh, my God. I can hear you. Do you need executive session? I've texted you and you don't answer. She's slow. She ain't texting nothing back. Say no so we can go. It'd be easier to call. Folks, sorry for the lag here, but just call it. You ever call and then hit FaceTime? I thought they get to watch your video.
Anna said no executive session.
Okay. It's all good then. Folks, do y'all have anything else?
No, sir.
Commissioners' comments? None? County judges' comments? None. This meeting's adjourned. Y'all have a good day. Thank you.